An epic search is reaching its climax to crown one British bakery the best. 60 bakeries from across the country competed.
I've been waiting for someone to do that with British bacon.
Just 5 are still standing. From here, the challenges can only get bigger.
100 savoury, 100 sweet. I'm going to be counting.
If we don't get the spice mix right, it will be game over for us.
Bolder.
I don't think I'm panicking, I'm just slightly anxious.
And more delicious.
Our bakeries are capable of excellence. Nothing less will do.
It's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
So far, so good.
Professional pride is at stake.
I don't want to give up now.
We're going down, mate. We are going down.
There will be triumphs.
I think this is one of the best focaccias I've tasted in this country.
And disasters.
Oh, we'll be making these again.
I actually think they're mad.
But only one can take the crown
And the title goes to...
of Britain's best bakery. It's finals week in the hunt for Britain's best bakery. 5 bakeries have battled through trials that have tested their skill and creativity. But today will be the last day in the competition for one of them. Their fate lies in the hands of cake-making supremo Mitch Turner MBE and award-winning chef and bread expert Peter Sidwell. And to decide who stays on to fight it out, the judges are upping the stakes with their toughest challenge yet. The Mass Catering Challenge. The Henley Festival is a highlight of the summer season, and the judges are asking the bakeries to scale up their performance by creating 100 savoury and 100 sweet, sophisticated, easy-to-handle canapés to serve here at a black tie reception.
We have our 5 semi-finalists, and this is the Mass Catering Challenge.
This is all about quality, quantity, time management, and ultimately delivering 100 sweet bakes, 100 savoury bakes of the highest quality.
The bakeries will share the same kitchen under the watchful eyes of Mitch and Peter and have just 3 hours to complete the challenge.
Cooking for ladies and gents at Henley, it's charisma, it's artisani, it's, you know, it's je ne sais quoi, as they say, and we've got that.
We think we can win this competition, and this is what we're here for, to show then we are the best at what we do.
I feel quite confident it all goes to plan. I'm so nervous.
Our strategy for today is just keeping calm. Yeah. We know what we're doing and just, no panicking. Yeah.
We're playing with big boys here, and we need to, do our best as a bakery.
Bakeries, welcome. You are our 5 semi-finalists, and this is the Mass Catering Challenge.
If you're ready, get baking!
The bakers start with their 100 savoury items. So far in the competition, winners of the North West England final, Calburn's Bakery from Stockport, have impressed with their technical skill and panache. And simple sophistication has inspired Rick today. He's making blinis, small pancakes that he'll top with smoked salmon, horseradish cream and pickled cucumber.
We've seen some wonderful creativity from you. Where's the creativity in that bake?
I think it's given what we've been asked, obviously with the champagne reception and the black tie dinner. I mean, to me, it's an etiquette. It's just that lovely, little bit of nicety.
As a former top London pastry chef, Rick has plenty of experience of baking in volume. His creative flair with a 6-layered peanut butter tray bake dazzled in the heats. And in the regional final, his cake was a feat of chocolate artistry.
You'll need a bigger bowl for that to get your batter going, eh?
Perfectionist Rick has high expectations both of himself and apprentice Tom.
Whisk in the bowl. Don't use the machine, use the bowl. That's what I'm doing.
But the judges aren't enthused by his classic canapé.
I'm concerned that they may have opted for a more simple bake to allow them the time for Rick to continue in this tutor-student method. This isn't the time or place for that.
No.
They start the blinis with buckwheat, a fruit seed closely related to rhubarb. Then Tom mixes with eggs, butter, baking powder and salt before adding milk to make a smooth batter.
Don't want any lumps in it. Got it? No lumps.
No lumps, yep. This is the first time I've ever made blinis. Sure, it'll be all right.
Once the blini mixture has rested, Tom fries the batter in small skillet pans until bubbles form on top.
Just watch your temperature. Brush.
But impatience soon gets the better of Rick.
I'll just take the first 25, first 50 off him, so at least he can, you know, have a play with the next lot, so...
The judges are concerned that he won't be able to go it alone.
He's not going to have time to do 100 blinis all by himself.
The winners of the South East England final, young artisan siblings from the Cake Shop Bakery, are keen to showcase ingenious flavour combinations as well as ingredients from their Suffolk area.
We're going to have the smoked trout that's locally smoked in Suffolk. It's really beautiful, sort of like sweet earthiness.
They've decided on a savoury cracker with a smoked trout, goat's cheese, fennel and dill topping. Lindsay hopes the mixture of rye flour, fennel seeds and honey will give their crackers a unique hit of flavour.
Just squish these in.
The self-taught sibling duo have delighted the judges with their modernising ideas. Their root cake was a creative winner in the heats, and their afternoon tea with edible flour-topped lavender cream shortbread was a visual feast. But they nearly didn't make it through when several attempts at their first Swiss meringue buttercream ended up in the bin. But these third-generation bakers are hoping their fish top crackers will help things go swimmingly this time.
Now, you guys, in our regional heat, took it to the absolute wire, didn't you?
We did.
What are you going to do to make sure that doesn't happen today?
We've tried to kind of organise ourselves, hopefully so that we have plenty of time and that we can finish everything to a really high standard.
Okay.
And their attention to detail extends to cracker design, as Lindsay cuts fish shapes with an old family heirloom.
I think Grandad might have made it. He did make old cutters and cake tins. We're kind of pretending they're trouts.
While the Cake Shop Bakery have gone rustic, Central England and Wales winners, French baking brothers Maison Macy from Birmingham, are going retro.
What are you making for your savoury bake?
So we're making some choux pastry swan.
Fashionable in the 70s and...
They used to be fashionable in the 70s. I think you've just summed it up there.
The choux pastry swans will be filled with Scottish salmon and soft cheese mixed with tarragon. David starts by making choux pastry.
Choux pastry is quite rewarding. It's like making a souffle. It just puffs up.
Trained at Michelin star restaurants, these Gallic gastronomers have flaunted their French flair throughout the competition, impressing with their know-how and attention to detail.
Technically, that's a beautiful mousse.
Their Balti monkfish tart wowed in the afternoon tea, with its fusion of French style and Birmingham ingredients. And while the brothers may excel at bespoke, they're no strangers to cooking en masse.
I feel confident about the mass catering challenge as I worked on a cruise liner, which is 3,000 people. I work in the army, where it's 1,000 people.
David presses on, piping the pastry to create the swan's long necks and bodies.
We put the sesame acid on it to have a bit of crunchiness.
And they bake in the oven for 20 minutes.
Maison Macy absolutely wowed us with their afternoon tea. They produced such a range of products to such a high standard in the time. If they do that again today, they are absolutely going to be the bakery to beat. Yeah, water into that and then into a well in the centre.
Scotland and North East England winners, the Angels Share from Yorkshire, are champions of regional produce. And they're keen to use local products in their first bake today.
We wanted to use something local, so we've gone for the Whitby sea trout.
The trout will be cured in beetroot and served in a petal-shaped oatcake with quail's egg, local samphire and wasabi mayonnaise. As Di begins the oatcakes, she knows that she hasn't got time on her side.
The mixture soon dries out and it just starts to crack, so you've got to work quite quickly.
These contemporary Yorkshire bakers have so far impressed with their flavoursome bakes. In the heats, their Pim's polenta cake was a wildcard winner. And their creative judges' choice cake, a hazelnut meringue...
My God, girls, that's good.
...saw them romp through the regional final. Alex and Di catered at weddings before the bakery opened 5 years ago and are hoping past experience will help with the task in hand.
I feel quite confident with this one.
I think this particular challenge will absolutely play into the hands of the Angel Share. I have incredibly high expectations of them today.
100 oatcakes in the oven, and that's 1 part down.
Do you want me to weigh your flour out?
Yes, please.
The final bakery in the competition today, South West England winners and traditional bakers, the Cottage Kitchen from Devon. They're pushing themselves, making 100 potato bread rolls, which will be filled with smoked trout pâté. But it's a slow process that will take every minute they've got to prepare and bake.
Making bread in the time frame is fairly ambitious, especially the kind of bread that we're making, but it should be worth the risk if we pull it off.
Phil makes a dough, replacing some of the flour with potato.
This is a good thing about putting mashed potato in it, is that it's hot, so it speeds up the proving process.
Great cake making is what the Cottage Kitchen does best. Nicola and Phil won their regional heat with their spicy carrot cake and choux eclairs. Their determination to prove that they could also make bread paid off in the afternoon tea. But all their efforts nearly went to the wall when time pressure led to a cake calamity.
Top set, this side hasn't.
Oh.
So bread baking on this scale could be a gamble today.
Oh, that smells brilliant.
Once the potato dough has had a first prove, Phil cuts it into rolls to prove once more before baking.
You've got 32 shaped.
Yeah.
You need to get to 100. You've
Yeah.
got to allow them to prove,
Yeah.
bake, cool, fill.
If we get this done, it's going to be a miracle, so...
We've seen Cottage Kitchen twice now, and on both timed events, we've had a meltdown.
They need to ensure that they really watch their time management today. 100 savoury, 100 sweet. I'm going to be counting.
All of the bakeries have their 100 savoury bakes underway, but with the outcome of today's challenge meaning one of them will be sent home, the stakes could not be higher.
Refreshing afternoon entertainment. Everyday favourites, sponsored by Febreze.
We know small cats share the same instincts as big cats. That's why Whiskers makes sure your cat gets everything they naturally need.
What is your definition of happiness?
A clear horizon. Nothing to worry about.
Honestly, it's not easy working in a place like this. But now, I've got this new Surface. Economy size, but fit for first class. There's a touch screen, new windows, and it also runs Office. It handles my old stuff, and I've got apps like Flipboard or Xbox videos to look forward to. That means I can get work done, then kick back and relax. Or do both at the same time. Great for when things are getting cozy.
Now then, I don't want to rush you, but we've got a lot to see.
Home insurance, lovely and fresh.
Over there are our world-famous falls. The energy price falls with a drop of up to £175 a year for most people. And over yonder, you'll find the car insurance lesses. Usually they'd be more, but round here things are different. We've been getting the right deals on car insurance there for years. If you've any more questions, don't hesitate to ask, because we are here to help. Careful now, coming through here, please. Thank you. Forget the South Downs, because coming up, we've got the majestic home insurance downs. Oh, don't mind that. That's just falling bills.
Visit Go Compare and see the spectacular savings for yourself.
Refreshing afternoon entertainment. Everyday favourites, sponsored by Febreze.
It's the first semi-final in the hunt to find Britain's best bakery. The 5 remaining bakeries are fighting for just 4 places in the next round. Today's challenge, to make 100 easy-to-handle savouries and 100 sweet treats for a sophisticated black tie reception at the Henley Festival. All the bakeries have started their savouries and must finish the job before moving on to their sweet bakes.
How are you doing on your schedule, Lindsay?
Good.
Lindsay from the Cake Shop Bakery might be on time with her schedule, but as their quirky fish-shaped crackers come out of the oven, things aren't looking so rosy.
It's a bit crunchy.
The irregular edges have baked too quickly, and some go straight into the bin. Knowing they need to create 100 savoury canapés, David and Lindsay have no choice but to cut out some more.
Nerve-wracking.
This artisan sibling duo have baking in their blood. They grew up in their Suffolk bakery and recently took it over from their dad. Both have worked for other small baking businesses and have huge ambition for their own. But catering on this scale is a stretch for them today.
We've seen previously that, you know, when they really come up against the time, it could go either way at any point.
Lindsay ploughs on, preparing the fennel for the cracker topping.
Cut the fennel really wafer thin, and then we're going to marinate it in orange juice.
She's combining this with goat's cheese and dill to complement the flavours of their smoked trout. And things are looking up.
Oh, yeah.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Got to finish this, Tom. All right, we're way behind.
In Calvin's kitchen, Rick has let apprentice Tom back onto blini duty in a bid to get them finished.
I think the blini's coming out all right. I'm just very nervous on them.
But with all the blinis still needing topping, Rick's getting impatient again.
Oh, come on. I want them finished. We're going down, mate. We are going down.
Blinis made, Tom's got to learn how to prepare the fiddly slithers of smoked salmon.
So it's your knife, it's not your fingers. They won't want to taste your fingers, do they? Come on, go.
Perfectionist Rick learnt his trade the hard way, working as a pastry chef since the age of 14. After opening his own bakery in Stockport 5 years ago, his passion for his artisan breads has seen him working up to 100 hours a week.
Got a lot of waste off them, eh?
But striving for excellence means he finds it hard to let go of the reins.
Yeah. What are you doing? Don't do it so close. It's like a shotgun, yeah? Bang, 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 bang.
And the judges have noticed.
You're all over the place.
I'm bouncing here, there and everywhere and just, you know...
But that's what's not going to work today, Rick. You're going to have to divide if you want to conquer.
Yeah.
Heeding their advice, Rick sets Tom mixing creme fraiche and horseradish for the topping.
But you don't want it to be runny.
Under supervision, of course. Over at the cottage kitchen, Nicola and Phil are also feeling the pressure.
We're working very hard at the moment. We're really pushed for time.
Their potato bread rolls have only just proved enough to go into the oven and will still need filling. It's cakes, not breads, that make up the cottage kitchen's repertoire, and award-winning cakes at that. Nicola started the business in her own kitchen before opening her bakery in Kingsbridge, South Devon. A simple, wholesome approach is key to her ethos. And she's injecting that into a fresh filling for their bread rolls, blending chilli, mascarpone, parsley and smoked local trout.
Keeping it fairly simple flavours so that you get the flavour of the trout in there.
Oh, it's lovely.
A bit more salt, do you think?
I don't know. No.
While the cottage kitchen are short on time, the French baking brothers from Maison Macy are taking the supersized challenge in their stride.
They look pretty consistent, so I think they'll be great once they're cut and filled.
With their 100 choux pastries cooling, Remy's getting going on the salmon filling.
We wanted something fishy to go inside the swarm rather than meat, and it goes really well as a canapé, something light to be served with champagne.
All the bakeries are making fish-based canapés, but David and Remy are hoping their salmon, baked with paprika, tarragon, butter and lemon juice, will give theirs the edge.
It's not something that we do.
It's not bulletproof. We're not sure it's going to be...
So you're taking a risk today, do you think?
Yeah, well, you have to. We have to,
They may be the only French contestants in this very British competition, But David and Remy have been Birmingham-based patissiers for the past 8 years and are drawing on all their technical know-how in the challenge today. They add tarragon and smoked salmon to their cooked salmon.
Once we add the cream cheese to bind it together, I think the flavors are all there.
Tastes pretty good to me.
The Angels share are starting on the fish filling for their oatcakes. Alex chops the beetroot and prepares their locally sourced trout.
Cured with grated raw beetroot, vodka, salt, sugar, dill and lemon juice.
Meanwhile, unlucky Di is landed with the laborious task of shelling 50 quail's eggs to place in the tarts.
A nightmare. The eggs are really difficult to do. The shells just don't want to come off.
That is one of the worst jobs you could give somebody in the kitchen. They are so hard to peel perfectly.
It's very time consuming. She's been at it for around 45 minutes. That's a big chunk of their time to concentrate on one element of presentation.
Alex worked as a banker before swapping her city suit for an apron and opening her Yorkshire bakery. She named it the Angel Share in memory of her dad, and she and Di work in heavenly harmony, producing locally inspired breads and tray bakes. But making 100 of these complex tarts could yet prove their undoing if Di can't get the eggs peeled in time.
Still here.
With 30 minutes to go, Alex starts on her mayonnaise, adding wasabi, a Japanese root vegetable that's related to horseradish, to egg yolks, oil and lemon juice. And they start to fill the first of their petal-shaped tarts.
Bakeries, you have 30 minutes left.
I'm just doing a quick spot check.
After over-baking some of her first batch of fish-shaped crackers, Lindsay at the Cake Shop Bakery is only just beginning the painstaking task of piping on goat's cheese cream and adding 100 portions of smoked trout.
Instead of having the fish cut into kind of uniform shapes, we're going to have it just kind of a bit looser.
By contrast, Maison Macy are making steady progress, piping and finessing their retro salmon-filled swans.
I think we can still finish on time, but there's no time to hang around. Time is extremely tight.
But working at this pace is not the way the presentation-minded brothers like to work.
It's not good to do anything fast.
And fast is the only way that the cottage kitchen are going to get their canapés done.
I'll be relieved once they're all piped and ready to go, but this is manic.
The potato rolls are finally baked, but they need to cool before they can be filled.
But the longer we can leave them on the racks,
Right,
the better.
OK, well, I'll cut.
Oh, I can't cut them yet. They've got to cool a little bit.
Yeah, they have.
Starch granules are full of moisture immediately after baking, so cutting into the rolls before they cool could give them a dense, doughy texture.
Got to cut them while they're 2 minutes out of the oven, and which is really bad. It's going to be really tight.
I don't think we're going to get it done, which is really disappointing.
Over at Cowburn's, master and apprentice are finally working in harmony, assembling 100 portions of salmon, dill mayonnaise and pickled cucumber.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Bakeries, you have 10 minutes left.
Cottage Kitchen are doing their best to fill their rolls, cooled or not.
As ever, Cottage Kitchen cuts it close to the wire.
And they're not the only ones. At the Angel Share, Di is still peeling eggs.
I don't think I want to look at another egg.
Let's get finished.
All right? Yeah, got it.
The time has brought my confidence a bit down, but still think we can make it.
Tom, you've got 3 minutes left. You've got to step it up a gear.
Nice, 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 nice.
C'est bon?
C'est bon.
The final countdown is a melee of filling, piping and perfecting.
Bakeries, that's it. Time's up. The challenge is over.
The savoury canapés are complete. But the pressure's still on, as the bakeries now have to come up with 100 sweet items to serve up to the hungry Henley festival goers.
Refreshing afternoon entertainment. Everyday favourites, sponsored by Febreze.
Dancing is my passion, and so is my cat. That's why I give her Sheba.
Discover Sheba Fresh Choice Mini Pouches, smaller portions for that freshly open taste every time. Sheba, follow your passion.
What is your definition of happiness?
A clear horizon. Nothing to worry about.
By 2016, we will only sell energy-efficient LED light bulbs. Sometimes small things can make a big difference. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Refreshing afternoon entertainment. Everyday favourites, sponsored by Febreze.
It's finals week, and the 5 remaining bakeries are fighting for a chance to stay in the competition.
So far, so good.
Their challenge? Creating canapes for a black tie champagne reception at the Henley Festival. They've just completed 100 savoury bakes. Now the bakeries must complete 100 sweet items, with just 90 minutes left. The innovative baking siblings from the Cake Shop Bakery are making lemon donuts, filled with chantilly cream and sprinkled with a vanilla and pink peppercorn sugar. David's made a dough using flour, sugar, yeast and lemon.
Why did you choose a donut for this challenge?
I'm kind of passionate about donuts. I really love them.
They look quite large, David.
It's a two-biter.
They're going to prove up quite big, aren't they?
I'm not going to let them get too big because I want to keep quite a nice tight texture within the dough itself.
Right.
Mitch and Peter don't quite agree on David's choice of canapé.
Donuts at Henley? Really?
Why not? I think they're on something.
But as they feared, David's proved donuts are beginning to look like more than two biters.
They are pretty massive.
I know.
Is there any way of cutting them in half? Because they're quite huge.
David knows he's got to adapt his plan if he's to meet the brief for easy-to-handle eats.
I might do these smaller, but I'll need your help.
Okay.
I'll reprove them again.
Although it'll set them back 30 minutes, he and Lindsay decide to divide and reprove the dough.
Might be a bit tight.
At the cottage kitchen, traditional cake maker Nicola is playing to her strengths.
It's just a case of doing the best that we can do, turning out the things that we love to produce all the time.
She's making strawberry and champagne cupcakes, topped with a champagne buttercream and strawberry coulis. She creams sugar and butter before adding eggs, vanilla, flour and that all-important element.
Woohoo! Champagne on the go already.
But the cottage kitchen's choice of bake hasn't got the judges fizzing.
Do you think cupcakes are the right thing to serve at a black tie evening event with champagne?
I think that they
are what we are, and I feel that I have to keep true to who I am and what I am.
Nicola and Phil are hoping that adding a fresh whole strawberry in the centre of each cupcake will win the judges' round.
Being a competition, we really want to pull something special out the bag.
Over at Cowburn's, former pastry chef Rick is launching himself into his sweet bake. While his savoury was simple, he's setting himself a higher bar this time.
Let's get it moving.
A flourless almond Toscana cake with fruit and nut Florentine topping and a double chocolate-coated strawberry. And as Rick starts creaming butter, sugar and eggs for the sponge...
Get your blue scraper, please. Here, go. Get out of the way, clean it down.
He's keeping Tom on his toes again.
Give me the whisk, please. Give me a whisk.
But it's Rick who needs to move fast. His batter has split.
Yeah.
That cake batter's a bit curdled, isn't it?
It's a little bit split on the front, but it's only for a base work anyway, so it's not actually... We won't want it as a rising cake.
Rick rescues his sponge batter by whisking in flour, and it's ready for the oven.
Very flat, isn't it?
Over with Yorkshire bakers the angels share, Alex is whisking egg whites with raspberry sugar crystals. She's making pink meringues with a raspberry and white chocolate ganache and crystallised red currants.
I mean, this is going to look really pretty with the edible flowers on, and then the middle's going to be really pink. So this one's definitely something for the ladies, isn't it?
Used to catering for large numbers, Alex has no trouble piping 200 meringue halves.
8, 9, 10, 80.
But while these pink treats are certainly bite-sized, the judges are wondering whether they'll hit the high-end brief.
It seems quite simple in terms of its execution of technical element, you know, hand-piping meringue. There are 4 other very strong bakeries in the room who are all really pushing themselves. Do you think you've pushed yourselves enough?
I think so, yes. Yeah. We've not gone for the obvious.
The combination of flavours sounds great, but it feels a little simple.
But what's not simple is the Angel Share's finish. They've gone for another labour-intensive touch, crystallising hundreds of tiny red currants to add to each meringue. And this task could slow them down again. Over at Maison Macy, French patissiers David and Remy are making a layered lemon and chocolate gâteau topped with a chocolate tuxedo-style decoration. David thinks that making one large sponge and dividing it into bite-sized portions is the best way of tackling this challenge.
It's quite robust in a way that it doesn't break if you mishandle it, so it's easier to do. And the taste is great as well.
With several elements to this complex bake, Remy makes the lemon curd.
We use a quite dark chocolate, and a lemon is the way to cut the dark chocolate taste.
He boils butter, sugar, lemon juice and zest. Then he beats eggs, sugar and corn flour, combining the two mixtures to create the curd, and spreads it out to cool.
The idea of it excites me. It showcases their wonderful attention to detail, their finesse. If they can put it off in time, I think it's going to be a real appeal at the festival later.
Having lost time resizing their donuts, ambitious artisans David and Lindsay are up against it.
I think we're okay with these. Come and have a look.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they're lovely size. Much better. Oh, I'm really pleased that they're not those ones.
Let's not talk about those ones. Those ones are...
Bakeries, you've had 1 hour.
As well as having to fry 100 reproved bite-sized donuts, the pair still have to coat them in sugar and make the lemon cream filling.
Lindsay, I'm really struggling.
Okay, get the cream done.
Come on. Okay, I need you to cut some more.
Okay, go.
At Cowburn's, Rick's flourless almond sponge is baked, and he's making a Florentine topping, boiling sugar and honey with cream before pouring over mixed fruit and nuts.
We make these in the shop and fly out the door, they do.
Then it's poured onto the sponge and baked again.
You got it? There you go.
Meanwhile, Tom is consigned to the laborious task of creating a dinner jacket effect on 100 strawberries by double dipping in 2 types of chocolate.
Too much chocolate on, it's too much feed. Put it down.
And try as he might, Rick's not letting up on the cooking classes.
Listen to me, watch what I'm doing. Right? Don't go off the cup. Scrape on the side, then away, yeah?
At the cottage kitchen, Nicola has made a strawberry, lemon and champagne coulis to spoon over their cupcakes.
Let's get them out.
Yep.
But it's not the boozy concoction that's caught Mitch's eye.
They're quite large, Nicola.
Is that not a concern for you?
Well, it's probably 2 mouthfuls.
They are going to be far too large for the Henley Festival. It's not a 1 bite, it's not a 2 bite, it's a meal.
I think in hindsight, perhaps the cupcakes weren't the right thing to do.
But at this stage of the bake, it's too late for Nicola to rethink her plans.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say my stress level is about an 11 at the moment.
Bakeries, you have half an hour left.
Over at Maison Macy, David starts assembling his gâteau.
Catastrophe. So there's a little bit of an accident there.
It turns out his layers of sponge are not as robust as he thought.
It does bother me a lot when it's broken, but it's a compromise between time and the reality.
He can only conceal the broken sponge by covering it, first with lemon curd and then a layer of cream and dark chocolate ganache. At the Angel's Share, Alex and Di are assembling their meringues, filling them with a white chocolate and fresh raspberry ganache. And they're working calmly and quickly to finish the challenge.
I've got to say, I'm really pleased how this looks done.
Quickly, get a piping bag.
Unlike David and Lindsay at the Cake Shop Bakery. With 15 minutes to go, they've still got lots of donuts to fill with lemon cream.
Get your own tray, get your own tray.
As well as strawberries to add and pink peppercorn sugar to sprinkle. Calbans are cutting it fine too. Rick's waited to the last possible moment to portion up their Toscana cake.
The sponge just isn't, it's not cool enough to cut, it's dragging. Oh, Tom, get the table clear, just 7 minutes, move. About what, a little bit of chocolate on top of that. Get rid of that in the fridge.
With minutes to spare, the bakeries are all taking it to the wire.
I don't think we're going to get this done. Would you believe it?
Phil, at the cottage kitchen, pipes vanilla and champagne flavour buttercream onto their cupcakes and finishes with strawberries.
Yeah, if I don't get the mint on, I don't get it on.
Angel Share's Di places crystallised red currants on 100 baby pink meringues.
It's a job you can't really rush because the berries are still very soft.
And adds elderflower sprigs. And David from Maison Macy pipes 100 bow tie designs onto white chocolate to add to each lemon and chocolate slice.
Time is extremely tight.
Guys, are you nearly there? We've got like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Last big push, yeah?
Yep.
I knew it'd be tight, but I didn't think it'd be this tight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bakeries, that's it. Time's up. Step away from your benches.
Did we do it? I don't know if we did it or not.
This challenge is definitely the toughest one out of all the one we did.
Let's hope the ingredients, pays off, really.
I think they're good enough to get us through to the next round.
I am looking forward to people tasting them because actually I think they're going to taste really good.
So armed with 100 savoury and 100 sweet bakes, with just a few held back for the judges, it's time to head to the river to serve Henley's hungry festival goers.
Madam, sir, would you like to sample some canapes from Henley?
Calbin's Toscana cakes quickly prove a nutty treat, even if they're not so ladylike.
Can we eat this elegantly? We might have to take the strawberry off. Oh my god, that is absolutely delicious.
I was worried that Toscana looked a little greasy.
While the simple blinis seem to slip down easily.
It's really good, isn't it? The tray's emptying itself, and it's, and I think we'll have this gone in no time.
Next, Maison Macy's shoe swans with salmon. Will their retro style catch a tide of approval?
I will reserve judgment on the swans until the discerning public see them.
It's absolutely perfect, and with the swans for Henley Festival, it's just very spot on.
The lemon and chocolate tuxedo cakes certainly appear fitting for the occasion.
Absolutely excellent.
Gave us a nice buzzed when you get a good feedback, because that's what you're doing it for.
The cake shop's trout and fennel rye crackers are proving rather harder to eat.
I don't think my teeth are quite up to it.
But the two-biter donuts are flying off their platter.
Those will make you a millionaire. They are stunning.
Goes to show that the donuts are a big success at the Henley Festival.
It's lovely to see a man in the grips of a cream binge.
The Cottage Kitchen champagne cupcakes are cause for celebration.
Strawberry and champagne feels like the right theme for where we are today.
Even if it's one between two.
Oh, yes.
And their foray into bread making also seems to be paying off.
Really nice. Soft and yummy and scrummy.
The attention to detail on the Angel Share's petal-shaped cured trout tarts hasn't gone unnoticed.
Those are just the prettiest things I've seen.
I could eat about 10. Absolutely lovely. Best meringue I've ever had.
And the baby pink meringues aren't just appealing to the ladies.
Nothing left.
The festival goers have wolfed down the eats, but the bakeries now face their toughest critics, the judges. And it's Mitch and Peter who'll decide which one of them will be going home.
Refreshing afternoon entertainment. Everyday favourites, sponsored by Febreze.
Wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday.
Whenever you need a mortgage, whatever you want to insure, whatever you're saving for. With the Post Office, apply online, in branch, or by phone. Your money, handled with care.
With Wonga.com, you're always in control and money is sent within 5 minutes of approval, guaranteed.
Drip it. Drizzle it. Dash it. Baste it. Splish it. Splash it. Shake it. Dip it. Squiggle it. Jiggle it. Fry it. Roast it. Mash it. Naturally brewed for over 300 years. Cook it up with Kikkoman soy sauce. And try our teriyaki sauce.
Refreshing afternoon entertainment. Everyday favourites, sponsored by Febreze.
Today, it's the glorious Henley Festival. And 5 bakeries are here, competing for the title of Britain's best. And only the best will make it through. One of them is set to leave today. Henley's festival goers tucked into the sweet and savoury canapes. But it's time for the final tasting with expert judges, Mitch Turner and Peter Sidwell. First to be judged, Calbans from Stockport. The judges thought their smoked salmon buckwheat blinis lacked ambition. Has playing it safe worked against them?
The Bellini is good, it's just a little too deep.
I think overall the combination of flavours work well together. And technically you've achieved a very safe bake. And I was looking for more creativity from you.
Next, their Toscana cake. This almond sponge, topped with Florentine and a whole strawberry isn't a delicate canapé, but the festival goers loved the taste.
That's a super tasty bake. I love the Florentine topping.
I think the essence of the bake is there and you just need to work it a little bit. And I think you need to change your approach on how you bake together, because at the moment, you're spreading yourselves too thinly.
Next, it's the third-generation cake shop bakery. Some of the guests deemed their catch of fish-shaped trout crackers too crunchy.
You've got a beautiful balance there with the depth of flavour of the trout and then that clean, fresh fennel.
The rye crisp bread is a little overbaked. It's quite hard and quite tough to bite through.
Now for their donuts. Has David's last-minute decision to resize them paid off?
I think you've brought together lots of flavours really well, and I think it's absolutely bang on for the festival.
I think you've been very clever to showcase something that is absolutely quintessential and quirky, just like you two.
Next to present to the judges, the Angel Share from Yorkshire. They nearly ran out of time peeling quail's eggs for their cured trout tarts.
I think you've got a lovely combination of flavours in there. I think the one thing it lacks is a little bit of bite, a little bit of acidity, but that's a really good little savoury bake, that.
It may have taken you a third of your time to shell those eggs, but they were worth it.
Now for their raspberry and white chocolate meringues.
I really like the texture on the meringue. It's got that wonderful crisp shell and then a lovely mallowy centre.
It tastes like a raspberry flavoured sweetie. My concern is that you may have played it a little bit safe.
Maison Macy made salmon shoe swans. Mitch was sceptical about their retro style, but the festival goers loved them.
I think you've shown wonderful imagination. You've introduced your creativity, which we've come to expect from you.
From a technical point of view, great choux pastry. The salmon has a wonderful texture, the way you've used a cooked salmon and you've used smoked salmon in there as well.
Now for their layered lemon and chocolate gâteau. They took it to the wire, completing the hand-pipe bow tie design.
That has shown so many different levels of care and attention to deliver so many different flavours in one bite.
The lemon curd really does come through. It's the star of the show for me. And I think the dark chocolate just kind of reinforces that slight bitterness. I think it's spot on. Well done.
The last bakery up for scrutiny is the Cottage Kitchen. As non-bread makers, they took the ambitious decision to make smoked trout bread rolls.
Smoked trout actually has a really wonderful flavour. It's great to see that you've incorporated your local ingredients yet again.
I think the bread is just about cooked. It just looks a little rough around the edges.
To ensure that you got it into the oven in time, to get it out in time, to get it filled in time, you compromise the proof, so you haven't got that wonderful shape that I know you were looking for.
Finally, their cupcakes. The festival goers enjoyed the champagne and strawberry treats, but will they have the judges celebrating?
You've really delivered a fizzy hit of strawberry and champagne in a cupcake. I think the strawberry inside is a wonderful addition.
I think the combination of flavours work really well, but it's a cupcake, and for me, that's just missed the brief.
Tasting over, the semi-finalists face an anxious wait while the judges deliberate.
Cowburns made their bellinis with smoked salmon, which I thought was a little safe, but the Henley goers seemed to like them.
I think they spent far too much time trying to dip their strawberries, and it was unnecessary.
I wasn't crazily happy with what I put down, and that's only my fault, but you know, I hope it could have just edged it, you know, for the next round. I hope it has.
The Cake Shop Bakery brought fun to Henley today. They brought us their posh donuts.
but their savoury crisp breads with fennel were overbaked. That's not acceptable at this stage of the competition.
I don't think we necessarily have produced the best savoury and sweet dishes today. I really hope that we've done enough.
Angel Share, for me, played a blinder. They went that extra mile and found local sea trout. What an amazing ingredient to deliver at Henley.
Angel Share spent the majority of their time ensuring that they delivered perfect presentation, but I think they've played it too simple with the execution and flavours of their bakes.
I think we've done enough today to get through to the next round. I'm really hopeful that we have.
Maison Macy gave us the very best tasting sweet bake today.
I thought Maison Macy were incredibly ambitious to produce 100 choux swans, technically perfectly baked.
I am not sure who's going to go out, but I hope it's not us.
I thought the Cottage Kitchen had a wonderful idea with the strawberry and the champagne, but I felt the cupcake was too large and didn't quite fit the brief for Henley.
The only non-bread bakers took on bread today, but their inexperience showed. It was underproved and it wasn't baked properly.
Taste-wise, what we turned out today was good. We just perhaps should have spent a bit more time thinking about it before we executed it.
At this level of the competition, only the very best will do, and out of all 5 bakeries, there's one that definitely needs to go. The first bakery going through to the next round is Angel Share.
The next bakery going through to the next round is Maison Macy.
The third bakery going through into the next round is the Cake Shop Bakery.
Which leaves just one more place. It's Calburn's versus the Cottage Kitchen.
The final bakery going through into the next round is Calburn Bakery. Well done, everybody.
Next round, we're just going to have to nail it big time. Well, I mean, more than step it up, we're going to have to jump up, and we're going to have to jump up big time.
It's sad to go, but I think we've done our bakery proud.
It's disappointing to not go through, but I think the teams that deserve to go through went through, and that's what it's about, it's a competition, so.
We go from 60 down to 4. It's unbelievable. It's such an honour.
It's one step closer to where we want to be.
But we know what we're up against now as well, so like she says, we've got to ramp it up.
Next time, it's the second semi-final. 4 bakeries must please some discerning clients, the Chelsea pensioners.
What did you think of your Chelsea bun?
Not a lot. I thought it was like a little stodgy.
It's not the sort of thing that I would have a go in, shall I say.
But it's a bun fight in the kitchen.
The mixture splits.
Those are not good enough.
The disaster zone.
And for one bakery, the competition will end here.
They need to go home.
As the search continues for Britain's best bakery.